On today's episode, we are getting into the new release from Wild Turkey. This bottle is for Jimmy Russell's 70th anniversary with the company. I can't wait to try this one. I go by the name of, let's get into this.
Play the intro.
I go by the name of Lord, let's serve you some whiskey. Welcome back. Now, folks, we got one. We are covering none other than the Wild Turkey 70th anniversary for Jimmy Russell. Now, according to Wild Turkey and people on the internets and WhiskeyTube, this one is hella mass produced, meaning that you should be able to find one. There's a lot of them going out there. Hell, I saw a bunch in a while. So don't go crazy in the secondary. But as I always say, do what you do, what you do. But anywho, today we are talking about none other than the the Wild Turkey of 70th anniversary Jimmy Russell. Yeah, woo. Yeah, I almost dropped that one. I think I almost did. Now, folks, we're going to get into the website to read all about it. So according to the website, this is Jimmy Russell's 70th anniversary, and it is an 8-year-old release. It says this release is honoring master distiller Jimmy Russell's 70th anniversary with Wild Turkey, making him the longest tenured spirit master distiller in the world. And then there's a little bit more about it. It says, to honor Jimmy's incredible impact on the bourbon world, Wild Turkey is proud to present the limited edition Wild Turkey Jimmy Russell 7th anniversary 8-year-old bourbon. Woo! It says this collector-worthy release is an 8-year-old 101 proof bourbon with an additional blend of 8 to 9-year-old whiskeys, hand-selected from a few of Jimmy's favorite rickhouse. Best enjoyed neat or over ice, this bourbon is true tribute to Jimmy's legacy. Then there's another passage. It goes on to say, from his early days at the distillery, sweeping the floors at age 18 to rising through the ranks to become master distiller, Jimmy has remained committed to crafting bourbon one way, the right way. Even when it wasn't popular in the 1970s and 80s, when the bourbon industry was close to collapse, Jimmy stayed the course. When many began favoring lighter spirits, Jimmy refused to dilute his bourbon or change the distilling process at all. Embracing the pre-prohibition style that he learned from his mentor and predecessor, Bill Hughes, Jimmy didn't change a damn thing. The approach helped propel the popularity of many of the distillery's classic bourbons, including Jimmy's favorite, Wild Turkey 101. He knew bold Kentucky bourbon would always have a place on the bar, a legacy that endures today. This is Jimmy Russell's 70th anniversary. Let's get into the review. Like I said, I'm very excited to try this. There's nothing crazy with the packaging with this bottle, unlike previous versions. One I do have one when it was his 60th anniversary. It was the diamond one. Now, folks, this is a blend of 13 to 16-year-old barrels. Woo! And I promise you, maybe a few of you've seen this and maybe a few you haven't, but this is one that came out, about 10 years ago. This was the diamond anniversary one. So enough about that one. You're here for this one. Now, spoiler alert, the bottle is literally the same as the 101. Even the cap is the same. There's nothing fancy with this packaging. There's no wood box like some other releases. There's no cards in the story, and there's no special bottle design. So they were able to actually keep the cost down and have this MSRP a little bit over than what you normally would pay for Wild Turkey 101. Now, I would say this much. When I first poured that in the glass, the aromas that came out was like crazy. I was like, yeah, this is not your average 101. Now, I like 101. 101 is a very decent pour. It's an acquired taste. I personally like 101 on the rocks. It's the only way I drink it. You could drink it straight, but for some strange reason, I just like it on the rocks. Not like a fancy rock cube, but more like a bunch of ice. Just hell, load it up. So for today, we are getting into this. Now, I would say this is easy to find. If you can find this, and it is at a big box retail store, you could theoretically find this for MSRP, which is the cool thing. I personally wouldn't do secondary market on this, only if you're in a market where you can't get it. But it is readily available, and from what I've heard online, the things I've read in forums and different YouTubers talking about it, that Wild Turkey produced a So just wait, be patient. It'll hit your market. Trust me, it hit my market. I only got 2. Maybe should have OD'd and got 10 because it's that damn good in my opinion. So let's go in for the nose. Oh, whoo. On the nose, you get that citrus off bat. It is a pleasant orange citrus note that jumps out at you. One thing I would say over this between the regular 101 is that oak. That oak jumps out. It's pleasant. It's a pleasant oak. It's not too oaky, but it's just right there. There's a faint hazelnut note that lingers in the back. I like hazelnut. Another note that pops out too, there's a caramel note that's in there. It's very pleasant. And then there's a chocolate note. But so I guess the caramel that I'm getting is more like a chocolate candy with a caramel like inside. It is buttery. You do get a butter note on that. Like a sweet butter note. This is, okay, bear with me, this is a weird note. It is a frosted coffee note. Now, some of you may have had it before, some of you may not. The frosted coffee note I'm getting mostly is like from Chick-fil-A. You all know what I'm talking about. Let me know in the comments if you had frosted coffee from Chick-fil-A. Yeah, that note is crazy. Yeah, so that you get that coffee round. So it would be with the oak, I would say. That's pretty good. Let's go in for the taste. Ooh, so already that first initial sip, I'm getting the spice on the palate. It's like that traditional bacon slice, but then there's a cherry note with the caramel note that's like basically doing like a tango on the palate. Overall, it's good. It's not too spicy, but you do get that first initial spice bite on the palate when you sip it. As far as the finish, I would say it is very coating. It is a medium long finish. Has a little bit of a Kentucky hug. I believe it's more so that spice that I get on the palate and the proof. So the proof's 101, not too hot, but that spice, like I said, it is more prevalent than the other flavors. So yeah, so super coating, super fulfill, medium long finish. Would I recommend this one? Yeah. Yeah. Hell yeah. So if you can find it, I always say, run, don't walk. Yeah. Let me know in the comments if this is one on your list and if you were able to find it. And then also let me know, what is your favorite limited release from Wild Turkey, past or present? Pretty interested. So yeah. So if you like this one, go ahead, give me a good old like, comment, and subscribe. Yeah. And like we always say at this time, folks, cheers, salute, Sante, Kobe, and all that jazz.